Domestic violence in Michigan. Should I take the deal? This is a short talk about the most common plea offer for DV first offense in Michigan. MCL 769.4A details. This is the statute that outlines this plea deal. Availability. In order to receive this plea deal, there must be no prior assaultive crimes in the defendant's history. If you ever want to look up your own criminal history in Michigan, you should visit this site, iChat. This is the Michigan State Police terminal for providing criminal histories to the public. What is a prior assaultive crime? The highlighted section are all the assaultive crimes that will jeopardize this sort of plea deal. What charges would this plea deal be available for? DV first offense, the 93-day misdemeanor, DV first offense, serious or aggravated injury, a 1-year misdemeanor. This plea deal is not available for very many offenses. Why is this a good deal for a defendant? This plea deal essentially is a difficult probation. However, at the end of the probation, the client's case will be dismissed. In a nutshell, what happens during this plea deal is that the defendant will be placed on probation. During this probation, he must attend and complete anger management courses and any other condition of probation required by the court. B. This plea deal will preserve firearm rights. I live in Traverse City, and I am surrounded by many outdoor enthusiasts, sportsmen, and hunters. For a great many people in my community, preserving your firearm rights is very important. C. Employment. There are many jobs out there that will pull criminal history, and if they see anything that is assaultive in nature, this will disqualify the candidate for a job. D. Participation in school activities. I have expunged a criminal history for a client just because she wanted to participate in her child's grade school. This particular school would run a criminal history, and if they saw anything within the criminal history, the parent would not be allowed to participate in school activities. Number 4, when will 769.4A be a bad deal for the defendant? What you need to appreciate about this plea deal is that the defendant is on a short leash. The court must enter a conviction for the following. A. The accused commits an assaultive crime during the period of probation. This would be that the defendant, once placed on DV probation, goes out and commits another assault and battery. B. The accused violates an order of the court that he or she receive counseling regarding his or her violent behavior. An example of a violation of this kind would be someone who does not attend their anger management courses or is tardy for anger management courses. This will result in a probation violation where the court must enter a conviction. C. The accused violates an order of the court that he or she have no contact with a named individual. In every domestic violence case, a provision of bond is to have no contact with the victim. When the defendant is placed on probation, sometimes that no contact provision becomes a condition of probation. Every person entering into a plea deal based on 769.4A needs to appreciate that if the no contact provision continues into probation, they will not be able to speak to their spouse or significant other. When will this deal be bad for a defendant? Anger management programs are long. Here in Traverse City, it's 26 weeks. If the defendant doesn't have the patience to participate in 26 weeks of group counseling, they should seriously consider not taking this deal. C. If the defendant was intoxicated during the offense, the court may order alcohol counseling and treatment in addition to anger management. Very quickly, if this happens, the defendant may be overwhelmed and there may be just too much requirements for this person to complete this probation. Number 5, should I take this deal? In order to assess whether someone should take a plea deal or not, they must weigh the chances of winning at trial versus defendant's ability to complete probation. Factors to consider before taking this plea deal. Number 1, will the defendant be able to make it to the meetings? A lot of times a client may have job conflicts. The defendant may work nights, and the evenings are when most of these classes are available. The defendant may have driving problems, such as a restricted license or lack of automobile or suspended license. The client may have financial problems. 26 weeks of anger management is not free. The defendant is expected to pay for these classes. There may be a lack of public transportation in the area for the defendant to make it to their class. Number 2, is the defendant willing to try counseling? I give the same speech to all my clients considering this plea. I talk to them about how I've met people who thought anger management was fantastic. I also speak to them about some people who reported back to me that it was not a good experience for them. I then try to at least get my client to be open-minded about learning new material. If I detect that the client isn't even willing to have an open mind, then the client really shouldn't take this plea deal. This is because this is a very long 26 weeks. I think that everyone considering taking this plea deal should have basic information about what your district court expects for domestic violence probation. The defendant should ask their attorney what counseling is like. Give them an idea how long the program is, how often they have to meet in the group. Don't let your attorney just say, you go on probation. Ask your attorney to call probation for details. If the client or defendant receives no help from their attorney, they should call district court probation themselves and start to ask questions. Thanks for watching my video. Please like and subscribe. A link to my website is in the video description.